So today I want to talk about how in my life I feel like everything comes in huge waves, whether it's a lot of good things at the same time or a lot of bad things that happen at the same time. So for most of my life, I would say that change always came to me around March. That's around my birthday. Around that kind of like entering the springtime for me. I don't never understood why. Like most of the new jobs I always got in like March or April, and just a lot of things always happened to me in that time. Like I remember I graduated pharmacy school in May of 2013. I got a girlfriend at that time as well, and I got a new car, and I was ready to move back home essentially, and just a lot of things were going on, right? Like it was just like multiple things hitting me at the same time. And I would say something very similar. I would say even starting in 2017, right? I remember I was living at home. I just got a new director of pharmacy job, so this was my first leadership position. And shortly after that, I think like a couple months after that, I bought my first house. So within like a short window, like not only did I get a higher level position, but I also bought a house, and then I moved out and lived on my own, right? And then at that point, I started house hacking my property. So a lot of moving pieces, right? You got to assimilate to a new job. You got to buy a new house. You got to learn how to take care of a house, learn how to be a landlord, house hack it, right? And then on top of all that, I was just basically going through school and then learning about, starting to educate myself about personal finance. So after that, I remember 2019, I literally got a new job as well. My mom, unfortunately was like placed in a coma, so I had to deal with that. And then also, I just bought a new house in San Francisco, had to relocate that, and once again had to rent out that house as well. So there was just a lot of moving pieces for me going there as well. Like I said, got a new job. My mom had a health issue, had to move into a new house, had to rent out this new house, right? So I had a lot of different things going on, and they say the two most stressful things in life are when you change jobs and when you move, and I did both, right? And then on top of that, in middle of 2020, I moved from San Francisco down to Southern California, and moved 400 miles away from home. Got a new job, had to find a new place to live, be in a new environment, away from all my friends, away from all my family, and having to adjust to this new place. So, that was a huge change for me as well. And, ironically, I bought another house when I moved down here as well. So I had so many things juggling around. At that point, it was like 2020, it was COVID. I was cooped in. I started listening to a lot of podcasts, educating myself, got into business. And in 2021, that's when I, joined a multifamily mentorship to buy my first apartment complex. That's when I opened up my own independent pharmacy, and that's when I started my Amazon dropshipping store, and I actually became a life insurance agent, which I never did, but I got licensed, and I never sold a life insurance policy after that. But I was just basically doing a bunch of stuff simultaneously at a time, and then I would say like most recently, once again, I just got a new job. I basically just sold my mobile home park. Stabilizing my assets and other cash flowing. So these are the good, right? But let's talk about. So for most of my life, I'd say the past 10 years, the tidal waves have been good tidal waves. Like it's a lot of good things happening at the same time. That was hitting me for the better, right? But in 2023 was the first time when I had a tidal wave of bad things hit me at the same time, right? So 2023 at the beginning, I just remember like job wise, there was nothing I could get, right? Like no matter what opportunities I applied to, I get interviews, I just never happened, right? Like I wouldn't get the job even though I'm qualified. I'd get rejected, or they'd hire someone internally, right? Like there's just a lot of misfortune. And in terms of my real estate, like things were taking longer than I expected. Things were costing more money than expected. My cash out refinance didn't go as expected. My mobile home park didn't go as expected, right? It took me a year to sell my mobile home park, which was losing $10,000 a month. Um, you know, um, I felt like I wasn't where I should be in my career. I felt like my real estate wasn't where I wanted to be. I was just going through a lot of stress, right? So like a lot of things were just hitting me simultaneously. And then now finally things are starting to unravel, right? Like literally I sold my mobile home park in um, October of 2023, and then literally in November of 2023 my BMW broke and I had to buy this Tesla, which I'm charging in right now. And then, in December 2023, it's the holidays, right? So it's really busy. I remember the week after Thanksgiving, that's when my BMW broke and I had to buy this new car. I got this car on December 8th, right? So literally I got a new car. Then after that, it's, Christmas, holidays, New Year's. So trying to travel, went to Vegas, do a bunch of things. And then now it's a new year, right? And it's approaching Martin Luther King Day, but, just got a new job. So I have to go through all the pre-appointment, health screening, background checks, and this new job is paying me, believe it or not, $70,000 more than my current job. So I'm basically getting paid $70,000 more to do the same thing that I'm doing right now, right? So it's a no-brainer, and then it cuts my commute, so I don't need to charge as much. But I kind of like these charging sessions because this is when I create my content, and this is when I record my content, right? So I got to find a way to do that. But I have to go to a new job. I have to reacclimate to this new job. Fortunately I don't have to move, right? Like unless I find a house that I buy, and knowing my track record, I'm probably gonna find a house that I want to buy, and then I'm gonna have to move as well, right? So a lot of moving pieces. And then I'm traveling again because I stopped traveling for the past like year because I was so stressed from my mobile home park, from all the real estate that I was buying. So I'm starting to travel again, right? I have free supercharging for 6 months because that was the incentive for buying this car. So I'm going on a bunch of road trips right now, right? I own this car for like 4 weeks, and I put on about 4,700 miles on this car already in just 4 weeks, right? So literally in a month, I drove almost 5,000 miles, right? Because, number one, I commute 70 miles each way for my work, but I drove up to the Bay Area to visit family during Thanksgiving and during Christmas. I went to Vegas. I'm just going on trips just because I have free electricity, right? But I'm putting a lot of mileage on my car. So I'm doing that. I have a trip planned to Japan coming up soon, right? I need to go to Dallas for like a conference. So like life is just starting to hit me, right? Starting to, ring shop, and then, propose and have a wedding, right? Just life just hitting you. And because of this, I'm actually grateful that I took a lot of action in 2021 and 2022 in buying a bunch of real estate, because I think at the time I was not very busy. At the time I had the capacity to do it, right? So like life has a weird way of working itself out. Like it's just crazy how like if my car broke down while I was still trying to sell my mobile home park, I probably would have been so stressed I probably would have had a panic attack or had a meltdown, right? If I got a new job while selling my mobile home park, I would have been stressed and had a meltdown as well, right? So I think the universe has a weird way of working itself out, like literally in sequence. Like I remember joking to myself back in 2023, like I'm not getting a new job until this mobile home park sells, or my life will not move on until this mobile home park sells. And it's after I sold it, I literally felt like everything just happened, right? Like literally sold my mobile home park, car broke down, got a new car, got a new job, and I applied to this job like 5 months ago. I went through like 3 rounds of interviews and I haven't heard anything. I thought I didn't get the job, and all of a sudden they reached out and like, oh yeah, we want to offer you. I was like, what? Like it took you 5 months to give me an offer? I kind of gave up hope, right? So so life has a way, like you're not ready to receive it yet, right? Like you're not ready. Like the universe knew that I wasn't in a place to, like my car lasted long enough. I call my BMW Beamsy for some reason. My Beamsy lasted long enough for me to sell my mobile home park, and once I sold it, it's just like, you know what, I lasted as long as I could. It's time for you to upgrade your car. And then I got my Tesla, which I call Tesla right now. So like, and the Tesla, it has autopilot, it drives for me, so it makes my commute easier, right? And I get free supercharging for like 6 months, and I commute a lot, so it's free electricity for me. So like it just felt like it was an opportune time, right? Like my car lasted just long enough to sell my mobile home park, and then for me to upgrade my car to make my life easier, right? And then now that my car situation's settled and I got used to driving a Tesla and all the charging and all that, and started to focus on traveling, and then I'm working on another mentorship program about student debt, like paying off student debt, because I paid off $250,000 of student debt in 4 years. So people are asking me like, hey, can you teach me? So I'm working at mentorship. Should come out soon. Let me know if you're interested. Put a comment down below or just send me an email. And then, on top of that, now I have to get a new job, which I'm going to start like mid-February, right? So, and knowing my record, I might get a new house, right? I don't know. I'm not even looking, but I know how things work for me. I literally might get a new house like real soon. So it's just like going in waves, right? So that's why for me, anytime I have downtime, I try to maximize it, because I know that like this downtime, enjoy it while I can, because things will happen, things will hit me. So that's why I live by a concept called speed up the micro but slow down the macro. So on my day-to-day basis, I try to do as much as I can, as much as possible, right? Like if I have downtime, I'm like, hey, I've been wanting to work on this thing for like, it's not urgent, but I want to work on it while I have time, right? Like my second course, my second mentorship, I worked on it a lot in November, and I haven't since, because I've just been so busy, right? If I have 10 minutes to create content, I'll create content, right? Like if I have 20, 30 minutes to work out, I'll just work out. Like I always try to do what I can when I can immediately, right? Because things always happen, and you want to maximize your time, right? So, because I know things are gonna hit. And then in terms of slow down the macro, like speed up the micro, slow down the macro, like big picture, right? If you want to retire early, like just slow that down, right? Like for me, I want to retire by 35. I actually still be able to do that, but like it was stressing me out. So I was like, you know what? Maybe let's make it before 40 or 45, right? I definitely know I can do that. And I have a golden handcuff job now, like even more so now, because I am trying to replace my W2 income. But if I just increase my W2 income by $70,000, I basically have to make $70,000 more in passive income through real estate or business just to replace my W2. So I'm purposely making it harder to replace my W2 income. So it's been a crazy journey, and why I wanted to share this is to let you know that life's gonna hit you in waves too, right? Good things will hit you in waves, bad things will hit you in waves, and it's just a matter of knowing that life comes in waves and comes in seasons. And just know that when the good things hit you in waves, just take a pause and know that, hey, this is your time to get better. This is your time to improve as a person, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And know that when you get hit with a bunch of bad things in waves, know that there's a reason for this. Like at the end of the badness, that's when you'll experience your most joy, your most pleasure, your most happiness. Like I teared up once I got my offer. Like literally when I got my offer, I was prepared to like justify why they should pay me more. And this was the first time where I'm like, wow, like they paid me beyond what I was expecting. And I literally lost feeling in my legs, and like was like, wow, like I can't believe I got this offer. And I was just like, wow, this whole year I've done so much, right? I put in the work, I put in the interviews, I did like so many interviews, right? Like just the repetition, a lot of rejection. And it was just like, why am I getting rejected? Like I'm so qualified at this point in my life. Like why am I getting rejected from all these jobs, from all these opportunities? So it was very discouraging. But the universe has a timeline for you, right? And now it's just finally my time. And I was blessed and fortunate to get the opportunity. And I'm hoping with a shorter commute now. And my hours are actually a little bit earlier. I start at 7, end at 3:30. I have more time to create content. I'll have more time to do other businesses. I'll have more time eventually to buy real estate again. Once interest rates drop and I can pull out my money, and I'm not all right now, all my equity is trapped into the real estate. So it's just kind of, it comes in waves, and you just have to roll with it, right? Like I said, just know whether it's good waves, bad waves, it happens for a reason. If it's good, great. If it's bad, just know that it's going to help you become a better person. At the end of the badness will become great. Because like I said, literally I went from negative, I want to say like $15,000 a month, to selling my mobile home park, so I'm not bleeding anymore. I just rented out like 10 units in my apartment complex, and then now I'm like cash flowing like 10,000. At this point I'm like 49 out of 51 units are occupied, and I'm cash flowing $10,000 positive. Come April, my mobile home park that I carried a note on is gonna pay me $2,200 a month. And then like I'm getting a new job where my take home pay is increased by like $4,000 a month. So literally in the span of like I don't know, like 4 months, I'm going from like negative $15,000 to literally, I think that's about 10, 12, about making $16,000 more a month, right? But that's not even including, like, I'm getting more mentorships, more coaching that I'm doing, right? My YouTube finally hit 1,000, so like things are just like growing exponentially. So key messages: just continue, put your head down, go through the grind, push through it, be consistent, and a lot of good things will happen for you. So hopefully you found this video inspirational, you found this helpful. Please share this video to somebody who you think would benefit from hearing this message. Maybe they're going through a lot of bad things right now. Maybe they're going through a lot of good things right now. But in any case, just share this to them, and please let me know if you have any questions down below. And hope to see you in the next one. Thank you so much.